At elevation, the senses are amplified. You're either on top of the world, or you're in a world of pain. The peaks and valleys that line the horizon become a metaphor for the thrills and downturns that high alpine offers. And the memory of civilization melts into insignificance in the humbling presence of rock and land that we call mountains. I think in modern society, the connection between body and mind is easily lost in the day-to-day rush. And in order to revitalize, sometimes we need to break free from the comforts of society and return to nature. My name is Darric Roark. I'm a senior in the mechanical engineering program at Colorado Mesa University. And when I'm not in school, I'm racing mountain bikes and pushing my limits on two wheels. Last October, I wanted to try something a little more off the beaten path. So I decided to bike pack and camp a 14er called Mount Elbert. It's Colorado's tallest peak, just southwest of Leadville. My goal was to make it to the summit before dawn and hopefully witness the sunrise from the top of the state. I'd have to carry a 30-pound bike and a 50-pound pack with the gear to camp in 15-degree weather. The plan was to hike up the day before, camp at 14,000 feet, wake up at 4 a.m., and push one final mile to the top. The route I planned to ascend was the Black Cloud Trail, which is probably the most remote of the three trails to the top. It gains 5,000 feet up the south side, and the slope gets up to a 36-degree grade. Most of the trail isn't exactly rideable, but it does have a flat spot near the top where I could camp for the night. From the summit, I plan to descend the East Ridge Trail, where the terrain becomes much more rideable, and ride it down to Twin Lakes. By the time I got halfway up, I still hadn't seen a single biker. Go figure. It's steep, it feels like there's barely any air to breathe, and now I'm trudging 80 pounds of gear up this thing, thinking, why did I sign up for this? Note to self, the path less traveled is less traveled for a reason. By the time I'd hauled the gear up 3,000 feet, I'd already drank most of my water. I'm exhausted at this point, and I realize that I gotta carry everything up another 2,000 feet, and then ride all the way to the bottom. And I just had to buckle down and push through all the pain. Right about now, I was wishing I didn't do this in October, because I'm seriously feeling the weight of this extra gear. My legs are burning, and my heart is beating out of my chest. And I had to keep telling myself, just get to 14. That's the goal. You're gonna make it. And I finally managed to get there, just in time to see the sun dip behind the horizon. I set up camp about a mile from the summit, made dinner, and put on 4 pairs of pants and every other layer I had as the 15-degree chill set in. That night was probably one of the worst nights of sleep I've ever had. Your heart pounds out of your chest, and it doesn't slow down in the absence of oxygen. My throat feels so parched, but I've got to ration what little water I have left. You try and find a comfortable position to lay in, fall asleep for like 20 minutes, and then wake back up, and do that over and over again. But inevitably, the wake-up call came. and the hike had to start to make it to the top at sunrise. Running on 3 hours of patchy sleep, the mind is clouded by a haze of fatigue. Thank God I came across some snow to collect to replenish a little water. And then as the horizon started to glow, it started to bring a sense of hope, almost as if it was trying to foreshadow the better moments that would follow. Every breath is chilling the lungs, and every step is fueled only by a desire to beat the sun to the top. The goal that had been anticipated since the beginning is finally in sight, and it's getting closer and closer. And within moments, I'm on the top of the state, at the crack of dawn. There's no mountain, animal, or hiker above for 1,000 miles. There's a resounding sense of being part of something bigger than yourself. It grounded me back to my roots and to the greater world we live in. And then watching the light crest over was unreal. You could just feel the warmth of the sun finally hit you. Looking at the lakes at the bottom as they start reflecting the sunlight, colors spanning across the entire horizon. I could finally stop for a moment and just take it in. When you gaze into the electrifying descent that lies ahead, the last 18 hours of pain all become worth it, because you know it's downhill from here. For me, mountain biking is a chance to clear my head, immerse in nature, dial in, and flow. And that's what it's all about. Whenever you tackle challenges like this, there's always going to be some adversity, whether you expect it or not. But that's the whole point. Because when you make it through the pain and the uncertainty, you become more confident, and you walk away with a new perspective and sense of vitality that you didn't have before. And I think that's what makes it all worth it.
Realistic. Yeah. All right.